Hello everybody, Bill Blades here. Now before we get too deep into this video here on the 737, I wanted to give a shout out to my patrons over on Patreon. So thank you to everybody who supports over there. It really means a lot to this channel. So yeah, I finally changed the livery on the 737 to what it really should have been this entire time. And that is the Lufthansa 737-500 livery, because this is honestly, personally, I think this is one of the best liveries that this plane can have. And I think it turned out great. I have over the past few days been tweaking with it and making the decals and redoing the tail and everything. So I'm going to go on a little journey here and sort of tell you guys how this plane came to this and all the liveries that this thing has had for the past year about. So it started off with the plain old 737-500 livery. I'm not going to put pictures here, but it was basically just where it said 737-500, and that was only for the LEGO idea submission because I couldn't have anything too specific to any airline. So then I changed it into the big planes livery to sort of promote that this is a LEGO ideas submission. And you know, I thought it was okay, but I really didn't think it went over too well at conventions trying to promote a YouTube channel. So then I changed it into the 737 house livery. And here's the tail over here from that. I actually completely switched out the tails. This is what the old one used to look like. You can see it's a little dirtier. The new one is dark blue and completely built in the correct color scheme. It's basically just the same thing as this. So yeah. And this was inaccurate. If any of you guys are huge aircraft or enthusiast fans or anything, or even Boeing fans, you'll know that this livery did exist, but only on the 737-200. It wasn't on the 737-500, only on the 200. But I did that because I just wanted something different. So I got rid of that and finally put this thing in the 737-500 livery for Lufthansa. And I think this looks really cool. And it's sort of interesting because Lufthansa just discontinued or did a farewell flight for the last 737-500 not that long ago. So I thought this would be sort of interesting with that. And let me know what you guys think about this, because personally I think this is the most accurate, and plus I think it looks the best out of all of them considering what we've done so far here. So yeah, the tail, I'm going to try to get you the best angles here as possible. The tail is in dark blue, and this thing was actually, it's hard getting an angle here. This thing was actually much harder to build than you might think, because it looks a lot like black, I know, but getting some of those parts in dark blue is very difficult, especially those, for this here, right here, the trailing edge. Again, this is dark blue, so it's hard to see it, so I'll just demonstrate it to you with our old tail here, if I can reach it. Here we go. Here's the old tail, and I can sort of demonstrate to you why this was so difficult. So obviously these slopes up here towards the front weren't that hard, but it was these pieces right here. And not the fact that they don't exist, but the fact that they only exist in the ones with the studs on the top. They don't exist inverted. So what I had to do is I had to use these headlight bricks here. And the problem there is that they do exist in dark blue, but they're $5 a piece. So yeah, that was quite expensive, but I did eventually figure something out. I was able to use the sticker to hide some stuff, and I think the tail actually turned out looking very, very nice. I'm very happy with how it turned out. And again, it's harder to see this on the camera than it is in real life. In real life, it looks a lot better than it does on the camera. But yeah, so I eventually did fix that, and I did change some stuff out over here with the wing. I was able to get some more of those solid curved slopes in, not the 1x3s, but the 2x3s. Finally able to replace those, and yeah, I just did a lot of optimizing on here. I got rid of some of the dirty parts that were sort of scuffed up from all the other liveries that this thing has had at some point. But yeah, I think this is probably, for those of you hoping that I'm going to change it again, this is probably the final color scheme this thing's going to be in. All right, I'm not going to change it to Southwest. I'm not going to change it to anything else. This is probably it. And let me know what you guys think of it in the comment section below. I want to know your opinion, and I want to let you guys, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Again, this is probably the last one it's going to be, but I thought Lufthansa was probably the most fitting carrier for this plane, because don't get me wrong, I don't remember. So If I'm wrong about this, oh well. I think they were the launch customer for the 500. So if I'm wrong about that, please correct me, because I have to admit I didn't really research that very well. But I'm pretty sure Lufthansa was the launch customer for the 737. So yeah, that's all I really have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm very happy about how this has looked. I think it's looking very slick and very clean. And yeah, that's all I really have for this video. And bye for now.